Hi, and welcome to ElitePremierVirtual.com's tutorial on using the FMC in your PMDG 737-800. At ElitePremier.com, we are a flight group dedicated to learning and teaching all things FSX, otherwise known as Flight Simulator X. And right about now, our website should be showing up somewhere on this screen, so feel free to check us out if you like what you see or hear, or see and hear. All right, so we're going to jump right into this. And before you jump into the FMC, which is your flight management computer, there are a few things that you're going to need to learn. And that is, number one, the use of SIDS and stars. If you've never heard of SIDS and stars before, that is how commercial pilots navigate today. Okay, a SID, which is SID, is a standard instrument departure, while a star is a standard terminal arrival. Okay, that's how pilots navigate today from airport to airport. Okay, so you're going to need to learn what a SID and a star is, and actually how to read it. It's basically a navigational chart. So first thing we're going to do is pull up a SID, right? And where I get my SIDs are from fltplan.com. Okay, so here's the website, fltplan.com, basically flightplan.com. All right, I click on digital charts, and then I go to, let's see, where shall we go? We shall go from Miami to Tampa. All right, so you're going to type in your origin airport first, and up comes a list of stars, instrument approaches, airport diagrams, and SIDs. Okay, so remember, okay, SID is your standard instrument departure, so that's what we're going to take a look at here first. Okay, again, this is something you're going to need to learn before you jump right into the FMC. So we're going to do this in about 3 or 4 parts, and this is the first part. We'll try to keep them to a maximum of 10 to 15 minutes each segment. All right, and let's actually pull up a flight plan from Miami to Tampa. So I like going on FlightAware to look up real world routes. I'm just going to type in Miami and the code for Tampa. Okay. Now keep in mind, this is a very basic tutorial on how to use your FMC. So I'm going to try not to get too technical on you. By the end of this tutorial, by the end of this set of tutorials, you'll be able to know what a flight plan looks like, know how to read a SID and star, or in very basic terms, and know how to program your FMC to fly from airport to airport. Okay, and like I say, in very basic terms. I'm not gonna get too technical on you. All right, so here I've looked up flights from Miami to Tampa, and what I'd like to do is take a look at the ones that have already arrived. Okay, so let's do American. Let's click on American 1657. Okay, so if you're on FlightAware, you look over to the right here, about halfway or 3/4 of the way down the page, you will see a section that's labeled route, and this shows you the flight plan. So if you don't know what a flight plan in today's world looks like, this is basically it. Okay, a flight plan is made up of, or most flight plans I should say, are made up of your star, your SID, and your star. So first here we have Winco 2. Winco 2 is going to be your SID. Okay, that's your standard instrument departure. While Deke 4 is going to be your star. That's your arrival. And in between you have transitions out of the area, transitions into the area, and you also have a jetway. Okay, for this route. Some longer routes will have a lot more information than this, but this is a short route so that we can keep things simple for you. Okay, so Winco 2 is our standard instrument departure. That's our SID. So let's go back to the approach charts and we're going to look for Winco 2. All right, Winco 2. Okay, so this is what the Winco 2 SID looks like. Now, keep in mind, okay, SIDs, or if you think about SIDs like this, here you have the diagram of the airport. Think of the airport as your home, okay, where you live. And think of Winco as the on-ramp to the nearest highway to your house. In order to get to the on-ramp to the nearest highway to your house, you have to travel on certain streets to get there. And that's basically how you should think about this. Here's the airport, and these are the streets that you will take to get to Winco, or the on-ramp, the Winco on-ramp. All right, so here we have, let's look at this, the runway here on the top. Okay, this is runway 8, let's see, runway 8 left or runway 26 right, depending on which direction you're taking off from. So if you're taking off towards the east, 092 degrees, you'll be taking off on runway 8 left. All right, so when you take off from runway 8 left, okay, you're going to get to Sonoy Street. You're going to make a left on Sonoy, and you're going to hook up with Simba. Okay, so Sonoy Street turns into Simba. It takes a slight turn to the left here. And then you're going to get to Fork Street. You're going to make a left on Fork Street and take that all the way to Borley Street. Then you're going to make a right at Borley Street, and that's going to turn into Megan. And from Megan, that's going to take you to the on-ramp Winco. Okay? So you'll be able to program this into your FMC, and your plane will actually execute these set of instructions by itself. Okay, the flight management computer will fly the plane and execute these turns that are published in the SID. All right, so again, if you think about it like that. All right, let's look at runway 12. Okay, so if you were taking off on runway 12, that's going to be a southeast direction. Once you take off, heading of 124, you're going to curve to the left, hook up with Sonoy Street, Simba, Fork, Borley, Megan, Winco. Okay, all of these streets take you to the on-ramp Winco. Okay, now again, I'm going to try to keep it basic here. If you're wondering what these numbers in these parentheses are, this is the distance between each of these points. So, for example, between Sonoy and Simba, you will travel about 7 nautical miles on a 354 degree heading. Once you get to Simba, turn slightly to the left, heading 336, and in about 5 miles, you're going to get to Fork. Okay, once you get to Fork, okay, you make that left turn towards Borley, and it's going to take you about 23 nautical miles to get to Borley. From Borley to Megan, 12 nautical miles. From Megan to Winco, 15 nautical miles. And these are the approximate headings that you'll be traveling on. Okay, if you're taking off to the west, let's look at this middle runway. This middle runway here is going to be runway 26 right. So if you take off on 26 right, heading 272 degrees, you're going to make a right to Ohofo intersection, then Borley, Megan, Winco. All right, so you'll be able to program this information into your FMC, and the plane will fly this route without you doing anything other than taking off and activating your autopilot, LNAV, and VNAV, which we'll explain a little later. All right, so now let's go back to our flight plan. Our flight plan says Winco to Winco. So we've just talked about that part of your flight plan. Now let's talk about the last part of the flight plan. Okay, so think of let's see, LBV is going to be LaBelle. Okay, and that's your transition into the Tampa area. Once you transition into Tampa, then you're going to execute the DEEC-4 arrival. Now, DEEC-4, think of the standard terminal arrival as once you get off of the highway, okay, at LaBelle. So LaBelle is going to be your exit off of the J43 highway. Okay, once you get off the highway, then you're going to execute a set of instructions to get you to your destination. So if you were to get off a highway, you're going to have to travel through a certain amount of streets, making left turns here, right turns there to get to the destination. Okay, so think about it like that. So let's go and look up what the DEEC-4 arrival looks like. All right, we're just going to back out of here, and we're going to type in our arrival airport, Tampa, and here are your arrivals. So you look for the arrival that's published on your route. Here we go, DEEC-4. We'll click on that, and we look at the chart. All right, so what you want to do is find your transition into the area, which is LaBelle. And here we have LaBelle, LBV. Okay. All right, so once we get to LaBelle, we're now exiting J43 highway, and in about 37 nautical miles, we'll get to Rogan. Okay, and then we'll continue on 318 degree or 318 heading, and in 18 nautical miles, we'll get to DEEC. Okay, now DEEC has a set of instructions for us, which says KTPA landing north, expect 1000 and 250 knots. Okay, sometimes you will see a line above or below these numbers. Okay, or you'll see a line above and below. Okay, let me tell you what that means. First of all, expect 11,000. Expect 11,000 means to expect to cross DEEC at 11,000 feet and 250 knots. The fact that they have the line above and below means that you need to cross DEEC at 11,000. If the line was only on the bottom and the 11,000 was on top of the line, then that would mean that you would expect to cross DEEC at or above 11,000. If the line was above this number only and there wasn't anything below, then you would have to cross or expect to cross DEEC at or below 11,000. Similarly, with the speed restriction, if the line was only above, then you would cross DEEC at or below 250 knots, and vice versa. If the line was on the bottom only, you would cross DEEC at or above 250 knots. Okay, and that's for traffic landing north. So this chart is turned on the side. So going this way is north. So all traffic landing north, you have to abide by this altitude and speed restriction. If you're landing south, that means when you get to Jetstream, you would turn north, okay, on the downwind, then turn left on base, and then turn left again on final. Okay, and the only thing they give you here is an altitude restriction. They don't give you a speed restriction. So expect to cross DEEC at 1000. Okay, if you're going to land south. All right. So after departing Deke on a heading of 318, you're going to get to Jetstream. Okay, Jetstream has another set of instructions which says landing north and landing all satellite airports. Expect radar vectors prior to Jetstream. Now, if you're flying on VATSIM or some other network where you have air traffic control, okay, that means that air traffic control is going to start vectoring you prior to getting to Jetstream. Okay, so, but if you're just flying on your own, then you can just pretty much ignore this part, okay, and continue on your route. So after we get to Jetstream, then if you're landing north, okay, there's either going to be a turn to 277, and then you're going to turn on final to runway, let's see, if you're landing north in Tampa, that's going to be runway 01 left or 01 right, okay, or if you're going to be going to the if you're going to land south, then that's going to be runway 19 left or 19 right. But anyhow, once you get past Jetstream, okay, you're going to be going to Lagoo and then straight into the Tampa airport. All right, so that's a basic overview of what a SID and star is and how to decipher the information on the SID and star. Okay, so that's just that's part one. We'll leave it right here. Yeah, please feel free to review this video again as many times as you need to so you can understand it. We also have a TeamSpeak at elitepremiervirtual.com. So again, take a look at our website and feel free to jump into TeamSpeak and ask us any questions. Our members are very friendly and we'll be happy to help you out. All right, so we're going to leave it here and we're going to pick up on part 2.